Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the China Edition. What you're now witnessing is my brand new train, which is now heading all the way back from Shanghai on the way to pick up some fuel to then go back and deliver it to Shanghai. This is a new route, a new setup that we got created as we finalize and built our very own cargo port, ready to start exporting the goods to different nations. We're about to now create our first trading partner. I want that just to sink in for just a second. We are now about to export from mainland China to our first trading partner right now, and this is going to set up the foundations for earning all this additional cash to start investing in the infrastructure within China's mainland. This is the turning point. Now, last episode, we did some work over here as well, which has worked, but I hate it, okay? I don't like what we've got set up. There's one too many vehicles right now, and I want to completely change it. Now, what I normally do in previous series is if I need to slightly adjust something, I don't mind deleting an industry and adding an industry in, providing it replaces or repositions. So that means, basically what that means is, if I want to edit the industries, I can only move them. I can't add any more. I can't remove any. I can only, if I delete the food factory, I have to put the food factory back in. I can't add any more from that. And I feel like this setup right now is hindering what I want to do. If I wanted to reposition a road in a city, I would delete it. If I wanted to reposition my own infrastructure, I would delete it. If I need to change a bridge, I would delete it. If I needed some more land, I would reclaim it or I would remove it. So why is it any different to the industries? Providing I don't add any more, that's completely fine. Now, I want to slightly reposition some stuff to make it a little bit more fluid, but I'm going to get onto that a little bit later because it's actually a bigger project than you think. Now, I want to start trading, and I instantly, if I wanted to, can start basically exporting food and fuel. And one of the great nations to the right of me is Japan, where Tokyo requires food and fuel. So what we're going to do, boys, is we're now going to set this up gloriously to start allowing Tokyo to accept these goods. We'll have a ship going back and forth, and eventually, once I get the infrastructure set up in Japan, we can start bringing wood back so I can then utilize it for new types of products. So like I said, boys, if you are enjoying it, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, don't rely on the recommended tab, subscribe to be notified when that next episode does drop. So we need to create a port area then over here. And provided I set this up correctly, Tokyo could accept and get delivered all these types of goods. So we need to do this logically right now. So I'm kind of going to reclaim quite a bit of land here. But on the, oh, hello, that's on Smoothie, isn't it? On the premise that I need it on a certain level for them to accept the goods. So I'm just going to reclaim all of this here for Japan here in Tokyo. Right, let's claim all that right now. It cost me 15 million. Holy moly, I'm spending it like I've got unlimited right now. We are then going to do some smoothie to hopefully bring it down to a level that's going to be workable. I'll sort out the shoreline in just a second anyway. But what I want to do is I want to make it as accessible as I pretty much can for my harbour. So if I use the normal street here, and let's just say I come off this, that's all great and all that jazz, but I think I might slightly bend it. Actually, what I might do is I might bring this road down, and let's say this road goes here, and then I bring this road across like that, and then we bend that slightly in, which kind of works. It will allow me then to extend, and that's like a more of a narrow road, this coming down to here. And I'm hoping if I build a port within this vicinity, it reaches all the little nooks and crannies dotted around. So if I then utilize that, oh, okay, they're now starting to build their own roads. So if I just smoothing all this off, works in my favor. And I just now need to fine tune the edge of this so we can access the harbour. This is going to be the difficult part of all of this. Now, I could build you in straight away, but look at how low it is compared to the road above us. That's where the issue's going to now lie. So I want to try and smoothen a little bit. It ain't going to be great, but we'll smoothen a little bit right now. And then I'll bring the brush size down, and then we'll do some flattening just to kind of get an area to work with. Now, isn't it going to be too much of a drop? Oh, I don't know. I don't know right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a harbour here, and let's just see if I can get the road to link down, which I can. I can right there, which is perfect. So let me now just extend this. So let me just get rid of the landing there. Let me go cargo, extend the building. We'll do double buildings right there. So I'm going to do it like that for the harbour, which I think is quite fun. We'll build you there and you there. Ooh, actually, do I want to go one more? I might actually go one more. So if I did that and then that, does that look about the right spacing? It does if I do it like this. Do you know what? That actually kind of works. That actually kind of works. Can I just put these in there just to kind of fill it up so it looks like it's all part of one building? Yes. I'm then going to add in all these little connections here. And this is what we're going to utilize right now to hopefully maximize the range of what the harbour can now reach. So that's perfect for us. That is perfect for us. So we've got to bring it down, which is kind of annoying in many ways. If I bring you down to there, which works out gloriously, and I'm going to actually now delete this. I know this is a really bad idea. But I'm going to delete that just so I can run this up. We'll bring you going out. And then I'll allow Tokyo to decide how it wants to kind of grow the rest of the area. So, smoothie right now. Try and get it as builder-friendly as we can. And then the range in which the harbour now reaches, which actually I don't have any landings. Hold on. It would help if I installed some landings. Right, the range in which we know the harbour reaches, not great, might I add. And I'm gonna see if I can make it a bit better. And we're gonna run a road going diagonal, which gives us a few there. Again, not great, but all this area here is area that they have not built on yet, which they will be able to very shortly. I just want to see if I can give Tokyo just like a little bit of a helping hand right now in terms of growth. Because if I can kind of get it to... Because it's all on a hill right now, which I don't know if Tokyo's like this in real life. I'm not too sure. But just smoothing it out as much as I can. Again, try and make it as builder-friendly as we can to maximize the amount of buildings that we are going to see around here. It should be somewhat beneficial. Right. Let's leave it like that then, boys. Let's leave it like that. I don't want to do too much right now because it is starting to look a little bit ridiculous. We are going to create a new route. So a new line, which is going to go from there to there. There we, oh, it's sailing through the middle. I actually don't know whether to make it sail through there or maybe to make it come down here because it might be able to maintain a higher speed. We'll see. We will see. Now, because this is a shipping route and it's going to be all different types of cargo, do I do shipping routes white so they stand out? Yeah, I'm gonna call this China to Japan. That's what I'm gonna call it. No, shipping. Cargo. Cargo, boys. That's what we'll call it. And then we'll utilize all of the harbored areas there. All of the docks. And I don't know whether to kind of do that right now. Just set up some waypoints. It would make life a little bit easier. So if I did, for example, one there, and then I span this round to go here. And then on that, from Shanghai, we add you in. And then coming back, we add you in. How does it look? Feels a bit better, but I also feel like we should do a waypoint roundabout here just to make the the entry point feel not as awkward. So if I did that there and then span you right round and then did that there. So before that waypoint, we're obviously going to add in you. And then after that waypoint, we add in you. So the transition for the boats just feels a little bit better when we send them over in that direction. Right, what I'll do then is I'll build the shipyard. No, we're going to build it over here. It just makes more sense to build it over here. Right, we'll build the shipyard just there. And I think we'll only start with one boat. We'll only start with one boat. So we've got a couple of different variations. And I need to do something that does all cargo. And this one holds 100 capacity. We'll just buy one boat to begin with. Set it all up. And then instantly, we're going to have an additional consumer on this. So we might see this level up straight away. I don't know. I don't know. You got to get more delivering on the go. But they're going to try and level up. So that will eventually level up, which is great. But does this get Japan as a consumer straight away as well? So Tokyo, it does. Okay, so that's beneficial at the same time as well. Right, okay. Absolutely glorious. So that will be a while before we do see it make money. And because of that, I think it might be beneficial to incorporate now multiple trains. So I'll allow that train just to tick by just for a moment. What about these trains? So the crude oil line, we've got trains there. We'll add an additional 2. And then the oil line. I don't think we need to worry too much just yet. Until we've upgraded the other ones. That's what I reckon anyway. That's what I reckon. Okay, that should work out in our favor. So, I want to now just redo all of this, because I'm going to be honest with you right now. Way too many vehicles on this line. I want to switch it out to a train line. So this is what I want to do. I want to reposition this food processing plant a little bit closer to the harbour. So the harbour and the train yard here touch it basically. That's what I want to do. So it'll instantly get placed on there. And then we'll also pick up the food for the vehicles to go over there as well. And then I want to reposition this farm next to this farm. So then I can have one train bend round and go down to deliver here the grain for this. So we're delivering in larger quantities. And then have a separate train line that comes out, splits to pick up grain from over here as well. I think that will be very, very important. And then we'll set up a vehicle collection point to deliver to Shanghai, Tianjin, and Beijing over there. Now, it's going to be quite painful to do this. I'm just going to throw that out there, and it's going to ruin all the progression I've currently made. It really, really is. So what that means is I've got to redo the train lines running in at the same time. And I'm going to set it all up where it will eventually split and split there. Oh, it's going to be so difficult, this. So this is actually going to be a pretty big challenge. And I'm going to pause the game right now. Because this, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate what I'm about to do. You really are. So first things first then, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab the wheat line. I'm going to manage the vehicles and I'm going to sell the 80 vehicles right now. Now, once I've sold the 80 vehicles, we're going to delete the line, as it's a line I no longer want or need. So the only vehicle lines I'm now left with is my Shanghai, 2 Shanghai lines, my Tianjin, and of course my Beijing line as well. So now that I've done that, we're going to delete you. We are going to delete you. We are going to delete you. I know, this is wild behavior, right? Absolutely wild behavior. I'm then going to delete this food factory. All right, I'm going to delete this back a little bit now to give us a little bit of space. I've got to delete it in a way that we're also pushing back the vehicles. There we go. I'm also then going to delete this farm here. So I now owe the game, technically, 1 farm, 1 food factory. But the problem is, guys, I have deleted it. So all those stats, all those upgrades are now gone. Right, we'll put you there. So the food factory I want within this vicinity, but I've got to design it and place it in correctly. So I reckon I put it in. So let me now just do the roads. And what road is that? It's like a skinnier road, isn't it? Yeah, so if I just kind of bring this out like that, if I bring that up like this, and delete you for a second. Actually, delete you. Oh no, don't delete you. I can now modify this train station to have the larger of the cargo buildings back in. There we go. And then, of course, we'll get the road. There we go. And then I'm just going to connect you up like this. I'm wondering if I can get the factory within this vicinity here now. It's quite a big factory, so I reckon we need to push it back a little bit. So if I come down to about there and then do this. All right, delete, 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 delete. And then what I'll do, I'll bend that into there. So that, it would almost fit in. It would almost fit in. Right, okay. Delete you, delete you. This is going to fit in. So, what's the best way to approach this? I reckon... I'm just trying to fine-tune the best as I can. Maybe like that. Right, delete you. Oh, I don't want to delete that. Let me just extend this a bit further. Just delete a chunk of it. So very important now. Very important. Touches. Shall I do it like this? I'm going to do it like this. Right, okay, hold on. Bringing you down. Right, it doesn't quite get the touch there. So let me delete you, delete you. I'm seeing how close, there we go. I'm just seeing how close I can get it to get that little touch in, which is perfect. Oh, that bends in. That, of course, goes directly through it. I'm going to delete that road there. And I'm going to delete that little chunk there. And I'm going to run that through it. And then I think we bring this up a little bit more and then turn that in. Oh, do I upgrade that road? Yeah, I'm going to upgrade the road. That will do me. Okay, bit of a tight squeeze, but that will do me. So that train station touches that. The harbour... Why does the harbour not touch it? I know the harbour needs to be connected to it, and that's vital, actually. The harbour does touch it. Didn't the harbour touch it beforehand? Oh, no, that was my vehicle run, wasn't it? Right, I can't do anything like this. Because it doesn't work like that, I believe. Oh, it does. Right, okay. I've got to get my vehicle running, so this might be where I integrate my truck stop as well. So it would be nice to get it to go somewhat diagonal. So how far can I get it before it doesn't make sense anymore? About there. So with that like that, I should be able to connect you down there and then connect you there. Which, that's not enough for you to connect. Right, okay. So where have I got to go for the harbour to connect them? Would it be here? Okay, that works. And then what I could maybe do here is just configure this. No, I can just make that a longer connection. I don't know if I'm going to put too much traffic on this now. That's the issue. Right, scrap you. What if I upgraded this to a bulkier road? I'm wondering if the bulkier road is going to help me. Right, select the harbour again. This is all very important, guys. This is all very important right now. Okay, none of that is helping me for that. Let me just configure this. Get rid of you. And let me do cargo. So let's just say my cargo is to connect by 2 more on these sides. Street access. It looks awkward, doesn't it? I won't lie. It does look a little bit awkward here. Right, bear with me. Okay, it touches, and that's all that matters. It's awkward as anything, but that's all that matters right now. So, let me just see how the rest of this would flourish. Because I still might need to do some fine-tuning. Alright, keep it going. Right, let's just go to there. I think what I'll do is get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Have the road entry point that little bit longer. And then have a back street access. Yeah. So have 2 points like that. I'm going to redo this road. So I know it's cost me a lot to delete a bit of Shanghai, but Shanghai will grow back, boys. It will grow back. Right, that connects in. Is that like that's like an even bulkier road, isn't it? Which is hilarious. Oh no, it's not that. I don't know what type of road that is. Anyway. Let me do a 90 degree. Right, did that touch still? Yes, okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right. There's a lot there. It doesn't need to be that big in reality. It doesn't need to be that big. So I could reduce it in size. But we're going to leave it big anyway because you just never know. You just never know. Right, that touches there slightly. So then can I just bend that in? Yes. So straight away, my Shanghai one does connect to it. So that works. Let's get rid, get rid, get rid. Let's delete you to there. Right, I've now got to connect all these up so I can get them all the vehicles on the correct lines. So you've got to delete it so they're on the roads, which is kind of funny in many ways. Right there. Delete, 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 delete. Right, delete you as an access point. We will upgrade them. So that's 40 kilometers. We'll upgrade them to these, which these got, no, that's 40, 20, 40, 60. I'll keep them upgraded to these larger dirt ones because that means they can go up to 60. That's literally it. The only reason. Can't extend there, but that doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Alright, connection in. Does that mean they all link now over? Not really. So let me now just get those lines. So the Beijing line. So where it would have went there, we get rid and we add that station in. And do any of them accept fuel? Tianjin accepts fuel. I've just realized that. So we can actually make Tianjin also transport fuel over there. Yeah, okay, sweet. Make it use all the stops. So Beijing. All right. Tianjin right now. There we go. So that's all connected. There's nothing else waiting there. So the only thing I'm now missing is the delivery of grain going to this food factory. That's technically now all I'm going to be missing. So that sets us up quite nice. All right. We've got the lines running in for the trains, which I could probably end up now redoing these train lines. I don't know how I feel about this bend going in anyway, but it would be nice to redo these train lines. So first, let's just sort out the train station here that's going to collect the grain. And we'll flip it right round. And it needs to be like that. We need to make it super long. So I'm going to pull it like this, I reckon. So we'll do it like that. And we're just going to make sure that we have the road connecting up. So if I just delete that road back a minute. Can I go straight? All right, bring that to there. Bring that all the way down. And then awkwardly bend that in. Right. And then smoothie. Right, smoothie all the land. Now, this is also giving this little city right now a connection to Shanghai, Beijing, to Tianjin. So you'll see now more vehicles moving about. It's a shame they don't need any of the goods that I am currently creating. But that goes there. So what I'll do is I'm just going to bend that round to connect to this. And it runs down and in. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm actually going to create and bulk it up with additional lines. So I know I've got this coming into here right now. I'm actually going to completely redo all of this. So this is going to completely now be deleted because I want a better approach coming in for this cargo harbor, because now I'm going to be exporting to Japan. This now makes it super important. All right, get rid. And I'm going to redo it all again, make sure we've got the correct alignments, because I need capacity over everything else. Right. So now we are going to utilize, so we can kind of keep this going in a straight line. It's not an issue. But at some point we do need to start turning. So I reckon. You got to be careful of the elevation change. Do I smoothie first? We'll do a little bit of smoothie. On where we've been previously. And I reckon we need to get it to turn to run like that. So I'm just seeing how these naturally run. So it's going to eat into it, which is completely fine. Well, we've got enough cash right now to do some terraining. So that runs like that. Now this is going to be my middle point. So this is the one that I need it to kind of bend in. So no longer are we building a tunnel now. Now we're on top. So smoothie all of this real quick. we go. There we go. Absolutely glorious. There we go. Look how magical that's now going to be. So we'll bring it in, but we're also going to set up 2 additional lines either side. Now, at the minute, they're only going to be utilized for running to the grain there and running to the grain here. Granted, but they're extensions I can continue through to other areas. Maybe not so much this one. And then set up like a double slip system so they can access all the platforms with relative ease. That will be the great benefit right there. So let's just see how this is going to first run in. So bending you all the way in, right? And I reckon from that straight point there, we set up a little system. So you could argue this is completely way over the top for this. But I'm kind of thinking ahead. That's all I'm doing right now, is just thinking to the future. Now, I could set it up where it utilizes the same line, but I feel like we're going to have so many trains eventually coming into this that I'm going to want to try and keep them all separate as much as I can. So if I run that into there, if I run you into here, if I run you into there, and I run you into here, this, I'm hoping, is where my double slip will get created. So run to there, run to there, and hopefully then all of this can be double slip. I say double slip, it's a double slip switch. I was about to say double switch, but it is a double slip. Right, there we go. Set that up, nice and glorious. Keep it super simple. So whatever line you're coming on, as soon as you get to this point, you can crisscross and go wherever you need to go. So we'll run this to a certain extent. And then that's when it's going to pretty much bend away and go in that direction. So I might make it start bending now. And then run you. Oh, hello. What's going on here? We've got lots of smoothie we need to do. So I'll come to this one a little bit later. Let's not worry about that. Let's just get the train going back and forth with the grain to here right now so we can start reproducing the food. Now, of course, with this, we do have a slight issue with how we're going to bend it. Now, I could even make it go under the bridge to bend right round, which that might cause some pressures with the train's elevation changes. Or I could just straight up turn it around like this, which is completely fine. So let's first bring this up to there. So it's pretty much at the same point where the other one then breaks off. And if I was to go like that to there, you can kind of see how this looks a little bit funky. Now, there is a moment where it looks like it could become a tunnel system, so it doesn't have to interact with the road here, which if I reduce that down in size, maybe actually, hey, scrap that off completely. I'll do it again. All right, what I'll do is I'm going to bend that to there, bring you out, and then we utilize the outer for there. And then we create a slight tunnel. And then that works. So bending this right round. And then right at the last minute, it turns to go in. Train won't be that big. We'll get away with it. It won't be that big. Right, let's now set up then all of the signals for this. So right until the point we get to the double slip, we just need to sort out all the signals coming in. No signals at that point. I'll then set up signals just here. We'll utilize the road as the next set of signals. And then my next set, we'll do a set here. So we'll do it for all of them. And then I'll do a set just here. So that is now good to go. There's no issues, no errors. It all runs in pretty smooth. Look at that infrastructure. It's going to be absolutely glorious. Right, if I do have multiple trains, then obviously we're going to have this set up correctly. But that's how that's going to work. Nice. Right, that's now all in position. So we're back to normal. We can now do what we need to do. The only problem is the food factory that I've now repositioned is not accepting or not getting any grain. Big problem. Very big problem. And it's gone back down to its original level. Very big problem. So we have to wait for that to level back up again. Now, all the vehicle lines have been pushed over to here. I think there's only one vehicle line, which is the two Shanghai lines that connect here. Don't have the ability to utilize multiple platforms. So let me just first sort these guys out then. So here, utilize multiple platforms. They can accept and deliver fuel as well, right? Yeah. The other Shanghai one. Bam, 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 bam. Very good, very good, very good. So that's now back up and running. So before I do anything, let me now get a new line, which is going to collect the wheat from there and deliver it here. Now, in theory, just like my other one, I can get it to go to all of the platforms. So like how the fuel line does that. So get it to go to all the platforms. So whatever's available, utilize. That's all I'm going to say to it. In theory, I don't need it to do that. But I'm going to set it all up now until it does become an issue. Until it does become an issue. Yeah, okay, that's all I need to do. So this will be our Shanghai grain. That's all I'm going to call it. Our if I can spell Shanghai correctly. Shanghai grain. Nice. And then I'm going to need a train for it as well. Now, I don't have a rail yard this direction, so I'm just going to flip this around and drop you there. We're going to buy a cheap train. Now, it has to be a cheap train, okay? Because of how short of a distance it's going to be traveling, it's got to be cheap. So I reckon I can probably get away with this Russian class B, maybe. Cargo-wise, we need gondolas. I'll start with a 98 capacity train. And then see how we get on. Right, back into play mode right now, as everything has now just dramatically changed. So we'll quickly do some smoothie while we wait. But ultimately, right now, we are now waiting for the grain to be placed back on the platform over here. Luckily for us, one of the grain farms is still leveled up to a certain amount. But that will dramatically drop down. My only issue is this food factory has to go for the processes all over again. So we're going to see a drop in revenue at the minute. But hopefully that we can, use the Shanghai ones to deliver fuel. Now, I'm actually, because this train's here now, we're going to actually duplicate the train. And that should now appear from this one over here. Pick up fuel now. They're now almost evenly spaced out. So that works really well for us. Right, fuel on the platform. Which is very good, very good. Grain is now being picked up. So almost full for the first time, but that will now deliver. So now we're delivering in larger quantities, which is amazing. Granted, these are going to have to slow down and cross over, but the trains are few and far between at the moment for it to be any issue. Right, glorious, glorious, glorious. And then we'll see how we get on now. So there's 8 food on the cargo platform now. The cargo ship's making its way over. Nothing on board just yet. It can accept any type of good, which also does mean passengers. But we're not accepting any passengers for this at the minute. We could do, but that will be a different harbour altogether. Right, we've set this up amazingly right now. Right, food, grain coming in, sorry. So this will now start producing the grain. And hopefully instantly level up after a few minutes. That's what we're hoping for. It's now producing food. So now we can make some progression. Right, the 2 fuel trains are now on the way down, as you can now see. I'm going to get ready to duplicate a 3rd one. So I'm going to do it now. There we go. And that will pick up some more fuel. We do need to maybe think about extending the size of our oil trains. So if I now edit all of these, edit or replace. Now I'll edit, it'll be a bit cheaper. Oh, they're already pretty long though, aren't they? I might just wait until we've got larger capacity carriages we can stick on them. That's what I might wait for. So you're delivering... Oh, actually, I'll edit these. Right, edit them. And I'll also add in one more. So start increasing those frequencies for the refineries. But yeah, it's a lot of work to do. It is a lot of work. We've got to get all up and running. I might add in some more oil trains. Now, eventually at some point, we will get to the point where we need to start separating these lines. We will need to start separating. I'm going to duplicate 2 more. It's a bit OTT at this point. I'd rather go for more capacity on the trains than more trains in general. But these guys can now connect. So all of a sudden, these guys can now start growing. So you'll see that little growth spurt now. Shanghai did take a little bit of a hit, by the way, with me deleting it. So we'll see what changes with them and how they kind of bounce back from that. Grain is being delivered, which is great. But it's just a simple case of now waiting for the transport numbers to increase. My ship is on the way back as well. That's going to Japan. So it is a bit of the waiting game right now. But at least some more fuel is about to be delivered. It's about to be delivered. Right. Lots on the platform. Keep picking up, boys. Keep picking up. Right. Lots more grain right now. So I reckon at some point we will need to think about doing an additional train. But we've got to get this set up as well. Let's not forget about this point. So I'm actually going to delete... Do I want to delete? Because we're going to have this as a main line. I think I might make that go that way and then just bring a separate line coming in this way. So I'll delete you because I've got an idea here that I want to do. So if I was to put you, for example, can I do 2 sets of tracks? That's what I want to try and attempt. So if I put you there and I edit this, so for the cargo buildings, and if I replicate on this side kind of what this is set up to be, I've got 2 entry points there. Now, this line is going to run down in this direction because it's going to be like a main line to enter the Shanghai cargo harbor area. And then we just connect this onto it. And it might be something that this line also does to go in like a different direction as well. But for that now, we've just got it to run directly in. So what we could see then is eventually this. Well, I want it to run. And how should I kind of do this? Would it go like this? And then enter that way and go down? Probably the way to go about it, if I'm kind of being honest. And if needs be, I can always add something that comes off to go in a different direction. So I don't know how much this is going to stay like this. I really don't know. Right, we'll do that like that because we've got the money right now to terraform. And then we're just going to bring this coming out. And then this is just going to simply connect in onto one of these cargo main lines. Simple. No questions asked. All right, very, very simple. All right, smoothie. Gotta do the smoothie, boys. Otherwise, it drives my OCD wild. Look at the state of this one over here I'm going to do. Glorious. And then, of course, we set up the old Chrissy crossing. Now, I've got to get these to connect to all three, as we're going to bring this grain into there as well. Probably way too much grain, but this is very, very important. That's actually not far off now from leveling up as well, so it'll start accepting more goods. Right. So that's there ready for me. That connects to both of those roads. So in reality, I can just do this. And then that's connected to both of them. And then I run this up. And that's connected there. So I'm pretty much good to go right now with creating that additional extension line. Only when we're not supplying enough grain with that train line there. So I've got myself all geared up. Right. We're going to have this now level up, boys. And it will now start demanding more grain. My ship has actually collected some food and some fuel. There we go, boys. Tokyo's going to actually start getting some goods. And we'll check in a minute how much we make from that small shipment. But so far, so good. This is about to level up shortly. And the grain delivery is on the way. Everything's now running smoothly. I'm loving it. And I haven't added any more additional industries. I've just replaced them. I've had to now take the hit because of it. And now I have to level up the factories all over again. All right, come on. There we go. We've leveled up, boys. We have now leveled up. So this will now start demanding more grain. So you'll now start seeing more grain on the platform start appearing, which is glorious. And hopefully we can get back to our previous money. I mean, we should be making more money anyway because I've added more of those oil trains. Yeah, the expenses are super high lately. Gotta be a bit careful. Got to be a bit careful, boys. Right, we need more oil to be refined here, don't we? Just feeling like we're not delivering enough. We got the signals doing and playing their part, but we're gonna have to, next episode, guys, split the lines. We are gonna have to split them. Very important that we do so. Very important. Need more oil being refined right now is what we need. But it's all good. It's all good right now, guys. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it right now. Right. Where's me grain train? There's me grain train. We could, in theory, get a second grain train on the go to increase these numbers. The finances are there. I think we can do it. So I think we're in the position right now where we'll duplicate a second grain train. Get that out and about. But this is set up real nice. So this is going to have to wait for this one to come out. I'm assuming it's using the same platform, or this has just got the green light to go through the double slip system first. Which is good, really, because it will kind of space it out a bit more evenly. It will space it out a bit more evenly. Oh, there we go, yeah. So that can now come in. Yeah, it was using the same line. All right. So how did the ship do? So it dropped off and it made... Wow, 250,000 and that little amount of product delivered. Tokyo is ready to grow, boys. Tokyo is ready to grow right now after that delivery. So yeah, we've got to figure out how we want to set up the wood routes. That's something that we'll do potentially in the future. Not quite sure what we're going to produce from that, whether that's going to be tools or whether it's going to be machines. I don't know. Either one Oh no, just tools requires wood, but the machines requires steel. So yeah, it's something we could do in the future anyway. Anybody else require tools? So, oh, North Korea requires tools. We could trade with North Korea, boys. What's going on there? What's going on there? But what about machines? You got 2 places in Japan that want machines, a place in South Korea that wants machines, a place there in Russia that wants machines. So yeah, we can give or take. We could legit give or take, boys. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Right, more grain being delivered. We want to get to the point where we're delivering more grain than it needs, just so I can always be producing food. And then we can always level it up. Right. Keep those deliveries coming thick and fast. Got to keep those shipment numbers up. We are making progression. We are making progression. It's a slow process, but we are getting there. Is that another grain train? Yes. Gotta keep that grain coming in, boys. Right, it's about to run out of grain, but luckily for them, a new shipment has just arrived. So it should level up shortly again anyway. It should. There's a fuel train on the way in as well. And what are my lines now saying? So a lot of lines are losing because we've got one too many vehicles on them. But I am waiting to get to the point where we are delivering the same amount of food as we was before. You can see we was making big stacks, come down, started making profit again, come down, almost making profit again as well. The Tajin line was doing really well, and then we just killed it all off. But now we're getting a constant supply of grain coming in, which means a constant supply of food being produced. So we'll get there. We could probably do a 3rd train, but that line is just too short for a 3rd train. But we can get multiple trains on this one as well. So it's all there, boys. It's all there. I'm excited. Oh, look at that. More food and fuel now collected. That's going to be a big payday on that ship. It really, really is. So there we go. We've made Shanghai right now quite productive. Quite, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for right now and I can't think of it. You know what I mean? Quite... I honestly can't think of the word I'm looking for. My mind has gone blank. Efficient. There we go. I found the word. We made it a lot more efficient. And it sets us up right now for just bringing more goods just out of the equation to Shanghai, to the harbour, ready to be shipped to different countries. But we have our first trading partner in Japan. And currently they are only buying our goods. We're not buying any of their goods just yet. But it's something we will get set up shortly. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.